Oh man, that was an ordeal. I just got back from the hospital. I was pretty messed up after the last video. The doctors had to put me through gimmick detox. That was not fun at all. I'm not gonna lie, it was touch and go there for a while. If you follow me at TNA Asylum, then you don't know what I'm talking about. Go to the YouTube page and watch the Final Resolution review. That'll explain everything. Anyway, I'm home now, and lucky me, I get to review iMPACT. Haven't actually seen the show yet. I just hope to God there were no gimmick matches on this thing. No gimmicks this week. You're fine. Well, that's a relief. Because I'm still detoxing. The doctor said I can't have any gimmicks. If I do, I could flip out. In fact, they gave me this special gimmick overload alarm to warn people just in case that happens. When you hear this alarm, hit the deck, because that means I've been exposed to too many gimmicks and I could completely lose my shit. Let's hope it won't come to that. But hey, no gimmick matches on iMPACT. That's awesome. So I'll tell you what, I'll turn the camera off for a little bit, I'll watch the show, then I'll turn the camera on and we'll do this thing. Why is Eric Bischoff still on iMPACT? Wasn't he supposed to be off TV and removed from Power because of that injunction Dixie hit him with? Does that only apply to Hogan? Because that's not how it seemed to me. I thought it affected both of them. Apparently not. And this is disappointing to me because I was under the impression that Hogan and Bischoff were going to be off my TV screen for a while. And as we learned previously, the show is better when they're gone. The show is better when they're not constantly on the screen sucking up TV time like a giant black hole. And even if they don't necessarily push themselves too hard, you're still feeling their influence everywhere. For example, they started the build-up to Motor City Beer Money at Genesis. I'm really looking forward to that match, but I don't like how they chose to hype it here. What is with TNA's bizarre fascination with Gunner and Murphy? I just don't get it. They're constantly screaming from the rooftops that they have the best tag team division in the world, and then they put these two losers in the ring? And I can't stress the word losers strongly enough. Did you hear that dead silence in the crowd when they were on the offense? Seriously, if even the Motor City Machine Guns can't carry your asses to a watchable match, you don't just need to get off TV, you need to quit altogether. Quit wrestling. Just stop. You have no talent. You have no future. You have nothing. You are horrible. Go away. Just disappear forever and take Orlando Jordan with you. No one cares. No one gives a shit. Speaking of not giving a shit, Brother Ray and a fake Devon wrestled a match against Inc. wherein the only heat they got were crowd chants of "Shut up, fat boy." That's probably not a good sign. And I don't know about you guys, but I have completely checked out at this point. Even with the worst feuds on this show, I have some kind of vested interest in who wins and loses. But here, I don't care if Brother Ray goes over, I don't care if Devon goes over. The only thing that would make me care at all is if they invented a time machine, went back a month and a half, and retired at Turning Point like they fucking said they were going to. But since that's probably not going to happen, I'll just move on to the other pointless thing on this show. The Jeff Jarrett segment. No, you know what? Fuck the Jeff Jarrett MMA thing. I've already said my piece on this. I hate it. It's stupid as hell. I feel insulted as an MMA fan. Not even gonna talk about it. So you start a tournament to crown new knockout tag team champions. Some people may be wondering why Sarita was teaming with Daphne when them working together makes absolutely no sense. The answer is the same answer for why they're adding Miss Tessmacher to this thing just to fill a spot. Because the knockout roster has been completely gutted this year. Having said that, I have a question. Why do the knockout tag titles still exist? You want to make the knockouts relevant and interesting again? That's great. But you're not going to do that by having a tournament for a championship that no one cares about. You fired Hamada, you fired Taylor, without even giving them one last match to drop the titles to a new team the right way. You have 8 knockouts left on your roster, 9 if you count Miss Tessmacher, which I don't. Plus, I expect Daphne will be cut pretty soon. A year ago, those titles might have made sense. But now, you don't have enough women to sustain a tag team division. You barely have enough women to sustain a singles division. If the only real team you have is the beautiful people, then either sign some new women and create some new teams, or just kill the belts altogether, because no one cares about them. They're meaningless. Here's a thought, just for the hell of it. Christina Von Eerie is supposed to debut soon, right? I know Jennifer Blake's tryout went really well. They worked together in Mexico. They were in the same faction. Why not put them together and do Las Gringas Locas in TNA? There, I just created a new knockout tag team. See how easy that was? Plus, we know TNA wants to expand their fan base in Mexico. That's the whole reason why you sent Hernandez down there. Mexican fans know Las Gringas Locas from AAA. They know Sarita from CMLL. Why not put the three of them together and push them as a faction? It'd make more sense than a lot of the other stuff you're doing right now. Stuff like Tara performing music. That was another segment that had me reaching for the mute button. Why is Tara singing her theme song with a band on Impact? I think when you do live music on a wrestling show, you're walking on thin ice on general principles. And personally, if I want to see live music, I'll go to a concert. I don't watch wrestling to see that. Then again, I don't watch wrestling to see a lot of the stuff that happens on Impact these days. When they did this with Mickie, I didn't like it, but I could sort of understand it. Mickie has this other career as a country music singer. She has this album out. So at least when she performed her song, there was some kind of reference for it. But when you have Tara do it, I'm just left wondering why in the world this is happening. Is Tara a recording artist? Is she a singer? Does she have a musical background of any kind? Not that I know of. And yes, I know this was just something they had Tara do to mock Mickie and get heel heat. I know. But just because something might get heel heat doesn't necessarily mean you should do it. It doesn't mean there aren't better ways to do it, ways that might feel more appropriate for a show like this. You could have just had Tara come out and brag about beating Mickie at the pay-per-view and gotten the same effect. Maybe she could show a video of footage cut together to make Mickie look bad with some embarrassing sound effects thrown in or something like that. Am I being too critical of this? Probably. But I don't really care. I didn't like the music thing. Sue me. But I will concede it accomplished what they wanted it to. It was a big attention-grabbing angle, it got Mickie out there, and it set up their match for later on. A match that would happen in a steel cage. Oh no. 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 No, no, no! Overload! Overload! Gimmick overload! Ah! 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 This show should come with a warning label. Watching Impact is hazardous to your health. Okay. So because 7 gimmick matches at Final Resolution just weren't enough, let's review this cage match. Huh. Actually, that was pretty good. There were a lot of things that TNA did right here. They set the match up in a big angle early in the show, they hyped it up throughout the night with videos, interviews, and the announcers talking about it, and it was the main event. So by the time the match started, it did feel important because they built up to it for the entire night, which they almost never bother to do. Plus, they gave it around 11 minutes, so it wasn't too short, and minus that one botch in the corner, it was a good match with an awesome finish. And they went back to it and they talked about it on Reaction for a while too. So they actually exercised logic and competence with how they presented this. I can't believe I just said that about a TNA show. Now, why they just did a longer version of all their Impact brawls in the pay-per-view and then did a cage match on free TV, I don't know. But that's TNA for you. Man, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys later. I wasn't supposed to be exposed to any gimmicks, but then I had to do this, so I have to take a whole bunch of medication and then lie down for a while.